Hello everyone, and welcome back to How People Lived. Today, we're diving into the colorful world of ancient fabrics. Have you ever wondered how our ancestors turned their plain textiles into vibrant works of art without modern dyes? It's a fascinating story of creativity and resourcefulness. Long before synthetic dyes were invented, people looked to the natural world for their color palette. It was a true art form, blending botany, chemistry, and a whole lot of patience. From brilliant reds to deep blues, every color came from a plant, an insect, or a mineral. Let's start with red, a color often associated with power and wealth. One of the most prized red dyes came from the cochineal insect, found on cacti in the Americas. To get that rich crimson hue, thousands of these tiny insects had to be harvested, dried, and crushed. In other parts of the world, like Europe and Asia, the root of the madder plant was used to create a range of beautiful reds and oranges. It was a staple dye for centuries. What about blue? The king of blues was indigo. The process was almost magical. The leaves from the indigo plant were fermented, and when fabric was dipped into the yellowish-green liquid and exposed to the air, it would slowly oxidize and turn a deep, beautiful blue. This dye was so valuable it was often called blue gold. Another source for blue, especially in early Europe, was the woad plant, which involved a similarly complex and often smelly fermentation process. Yellows and greens were a bit more common. Weld, a plant that looks like a weed, produced a brilliant, light-fast yellow. Dyer's broom and even onion skins were also popular choices for creating sunny shades. To get green, dyers often had to double dip. First, they dye the fabric yellow with something like weld, and then they dip it again into a blue vat of indigo or woad. It was a two-step process that required great skill. And we can't forget about purple. Tyrian purple was the most exclusive and expensive dye in the ancient world, reserved for royalty and the super rich. It was made from the mucus of thousands of sea snails. It took something like 12,000 snails just to produce enough dye for a single garment. That's why purple became the ultimate status symbol. These natural dyes weren't just about color, they were part of a community's identity and economy. The knowledge was passed down through generations, a secret craft that turned the everyday into something extraordinary. So next time you see a vibrant piece of clothing, take a moment to appreciate the incredible history of color that came before us. Thanks for joining me on this colorful journey today. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories of how people lived. See you next time.